Question number 1, which shows 4 to the 6th divided by 4 to the 5th in standard form. When you divide, you subtract the exponents. So 6 minus 5 is 1. So our answer that we're looking for is whatever 4 to the 1st is. 4 to the 1st is 4. The answer is C. Question 2 says a line passes through the points -6, -1, and 4, 4. What is the line's y-intercept? What is the line's x-intercept? So our line's going to go through here, here. Okay. So there's our line. The y-intercept is where it hits the y-axis. That's 2. X-intercept is where it hits the x-axis. That's -4. Question 3. How could you rewrite the fraction as a problem using an exponent and no fraction? There's 4 2's here, so we'd write 2 to the 4th to take care of that for the 4 2's, and then since it's in the numerator or in the denominator of the fraction, we're going to write a negative. So this and this are the same. Question 4. Let's solve by distributing. There's variables on both sides, so let's move the smaller one. Well, actually they're the same. So when we move one, they both move, and we're left with 6 equals 72, which is a false statement. We say nope, cross off the equal sign, and then we write no solutions. Question 5, plot the known points from the table. Draw a line that passes through these points. Then fill in the missing boxes of the table. So we have 2 points here that we know, 2, 4, and 6, 6. Let's connect these with a ruler, or in my case, I can't find a ruler, so I'm using a Tim Hortons gift card. Same thing, right? So there we go. I used a straight edge to make the line. And it says to find the missing points. So right here, x is 0, which is right here. So we go up, and we see when x is 0, y is 3. X is 10, that's right here. We go up to 10, we find that y is 8. And x is 7 is right here. That looks like it's halfway between 6 and 7, so we'll say 6.5. Question 6, find the product of these two numbers. Write your answer in scientific notation. So we need to multiply 4.2 and 5.1. We get 21.42. And we need to add the exponents. When you multiply, you add the exponents. So our answer should be 21.42 times 10 to the 21. This number's too big, though. It needs to be 2.142, which made the number smaller, so we need to make the exponent bigger. Question 7 says draw a line that passes through -3, 1 and 3, 3. Let's connect them. What is the line's y-intercept? Well, it passes through the y-axis at 2. Is the slope of the line positive, negative, 0, or undefined? It is positive. I know it's positive because Mr. Slope Guy has his eyes reminding us positive looks like that. All right. Question 8, plot the points 3, 2, -1, -6. Draw a line that passes through these 2 points. What is the slope of this line? Remember, slope is rise over run, and we need 2 points, which we have. So the rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and our run is 1, 2, 3, 4. Our slope is 8 over 4 because it's rise over run. But we can simplify that. 8 over 4 can be simplified to 2. Question 9 says draw a line that has a slope of 0 and passes through the point 3, -1. 3, -1 is right there. If it has a slope of 0, then it's a horizontal line. So we're going to take our Tim Hortons ruler here, and we're going to draw a horizontal line. There we go. There's our line with 0 slope that passes through that point. Question 10. Which choice correctly shows the sum of these two numbers written in scientific notation? So sum means add, and to add, the exponents have to match. So we're going to change this 17 to an 18, and we're going to change the 8 to a 0.8. 9.6 plus 0.8 is going to be 10.4 times 10 to the 18, which is choice C, but that's not in scientific notation. So we need to fix that to 1.04. And then we're going to change the 18, since the number got smaller, we're going to change the exponent to be bigger, which is choice D. Question 11, the equation of this line. Well, we need to know two things. We need to know the y-intercept, which is right there, and we need to know the slope. To find slope, we need 2 points. We already have one. Let's use this point here. So the slope is rise over run. We rose 3 and we ran 3. So our equation is y equals, the slope is 3 over 3, or 1, x, and then the y-intercept is 1. So y equals 1x plus 1. You can write this simpler by just saying y equals x plus 1. Remember, 3 over 3 is the slope. The slope goes in front of the x. Question 12. Let's distribute and get 12h minus 27 equals 2h plus 13. We distributed. Now we have variables on both sides. Let's move the smaller one, minus 2h minus 2h. We get 10h minus 27 equals 13. Let's move the 27 and get 10h equals 40, and divide both sides by 10 and get h equals 4. Question 13 wants us to divide. So let's divide by dividing the numbers and subtracting the exponents. 1.4 divided by 7 is 0.2, and 18 minus 14 is 4. Whoops, 4. So our answer should be this, but that's not in scientific notation, so let's make this bigger and this smaller, 2 times 10 to the third. Question 14, which expression is not equivalent to 2 to the third divided by 2 to the sixth? So when you divide, you subtract the exponent, so 3 minus 6 is negative 3, so we know it's not that one. You can rewrite this negative exponent problem as choice A, because you can get rid of the negative and write it in the denominator. And then 2 to the third is 8, which is that one, so it's choice B. Question 15, write a number that is 200 times bigger than 4,000. They want a number bigger than 4,000, 200 times bigger, so we're going to multiply these numbers. 4,000 times 200, 4 times 2 is 8. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, so our answer is 800,000. Question 16 wants us to reflect this shape across the line y equals 3. So I'm going to go to the y-axis and I'm going to go to 3, which is right here. And I'm going to reflect across that line. So L and N don't move. M is 2 above the line. Now it's 2 below the line. So let's connect these. We really don't have much to do in this because 2 of the lines, or 2 of the points didn't move. There we go. Question 17 wants us to complete the table. So we put each of these numbers in for x and see what the problem gives us. So this one says 2/3 of x plus 1. So 2/3 of negative 9 plus 1. 2/3 of negative 9 is negative 6, and negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. 2/3 of negative 3 is negative 2, and negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. 2/3 of 6 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 2/3 of 12 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Question 18 wants to know the equation of this line. So we need 2 points. There's 1. There's the other. That's the y-intercept, so we know our equation is going to have a -5 on the end. And then our equation slope is rise 3, run 1. So our rise is 3 and our run is 1. And since the line is going downhill, this is a negative, or one of these numbers needs to be negative. And this simplifies -3 over 1 simplifies to -3. So our answer is -3x minus 5. Question 19 wants us to multiply these two numbers. So we multiply the numbers out front. We're going to add the exponents. Our exponent's going to be 30. Our number out front is going to be 20.75. Let's fix this so it's in scientific notation. The number got smaller, so the exponent gets bigger. There we go. Question 20. Sal is $20 million, which is 500 times the money that Mike has. How much money does Mike have? So we need to divide this number by 500 to see how much Mike has. So 20 million divided by 500 is 40,000. Let's double check that. These zeros cancel, these zeros cancel. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And we have 1, 2, 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. There we go. Okay. There's 5 zeros here. I didn't see that one here. Okay, question 21 wants us to subtract. When we subtract, the exponents have to match. Let's change that to an 18, and this to a 0.029. So let's do 5 minus 0.029, which is 4.971, and the exponent is 18. Let's just leave that alone. Question 22 wants us to reflect across y equals -1. Y equals -1 is a line that hits the y-axis at -1, which would be right here. And now we need to see how far each point is above. B is 2 above, so now it's 2 below. C is 3 above, so now it's 3 below. D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 below, and so is A. So let's connect these with my ruler. Whoops, that line was not good. And we get our new shape reflected, labeled with primes. Question 23 wants us to add. So to add, the exponents have to match. So we're going to change this to a 17, which changes this to be 1. So 15, 16, 17. We need to add 2 zeros out front. So our answer is going to have an exponent of 17, and we need to add these numbers, 2.05 plus 0.003, which is 2.053. I'll write that again, 2.053 times 10 to the 17. Question 24, to simplify all these, we need to remember that when we multiply, you add the exponents, and when we divide, you subtract the exponents. So 12 plus 4 is 16. 15 minus 3 is 12. 9 plus 3 is 12. 20 minus 10 is 10. And 25 minus 5 is 20. Question 25 wants us to solve. So let's build a fence. Let's distribute over here. -10 times a -7 is positive 70, P. And -10 times 3 is -30. Let's combine like terms on the right. We get 80p minus 30. Now there's variables on both sides. Let's move the smaller one, which is 5p. And we get negative 480 equals 75p minus 30. Let's get rid of this 30 next. We get negative 450 equals 75p. Last step, let's divide both sides by 75, and we get negative 6. Question 26. Geno Shipping Company ships 4.8 times 10 to the 20 gallons of window cleaner every year, while Tina Trucking ships 2.4 times 10 to the 18 gallons of window cleaner every year. How many more gallons are shipped by one company than another? How many more means we need to subtract. So we need to subtract 4.8 times 10 to the 20 minus 2.4 times 10 to the 18. Can't subtract unless the exponents match. So when I make this get higher, I make this get lower. So now let's subtract 4.8 minus 0.024 is 4.776. The exponent stays the same. This is a word problem, so we need a label. How many more gallons? Question 27. Let's build our fence. Let's distribute. Four times a is 32. That negative just gets brought along. Negative 4 times negative 10 is positive 40. Over here, let's combine like terms. Negative 9a and negative 32a is negative 41a. Let's get rid of this 11a since it's smaller. Whoops. Actually, the negative 41a was smaller, but it's okay. We'll get the same answer. I should have moved the negative 41a and avoided some of these negatives here. That's okay. See, now negative 41a minus 11a is negative 52a. Look at, I don't like that negative. Subtract by both sides by 40, and we get 104 equals negative 52a. And we divide by negative 52, we get a equals negative 2. Question 28 wants us to reflect across the line y equals 1. Let's draw a line on the y-axis, or that hits the y-axis at 1. That's right here. And then flip. U and V don't move. W is 2 below, so now it's 2 above. T is 3 below, so now it's 3 above. If we connect them, there we go. Question 29 wants us to solve again. Let's fence and distribute. 8m minus 20 plus 16. Let's combine some like terms over here and get 8m minus 4. Let's move the 6m since it's smaller. And we get negative 5 equals 2m minus 4. Let's add 4 to both sides, and we get negative 1 equals 2m. Divide both sides by 2. And we get m equals negative 1/2. Let me double check that. I don't remember making a problem with a fraction. Everything looks good. Okay, that's correct. I don't remember making that problem have a fraction answer, but still worked out. Question 30 wants us to dilate with a scale factor of 2. That means all these points, all the numbers involved have to be multiplied by 2. So E used to be 0, 1. Now it's going to be times 2 times 2. It's going to be 0, 2. C used to be 1, 1 times 2 times 2. Now it's going to be 2, 2. A used to be 2, 3. When we multiply both those by 2, we're going to get 4, 6. And G used to be negative 1, 3. But when we multiply those both by 2, we get negative 2, 6. So let's plot those new points. 0, 2, 2, 2, 4, 6, negative 2, 6. And let's label them E prime, C prime, A prime, G prime. Let's connect them. There we go. Our shape is twice as big as the original. Question 31 says rotate 180 degrees clockwise. Alright, so this shape is in the top right. And it needs to end up down here. So let's spin our paper so this is the top right. So our paper is going to look like this. Our shape is going to end up right here. So let's go back. U is 0, 2. So let's put our new U right here. R is 2, 2. S is 5, 3. 5, 3. And T is 3, 4. 3, 4. Connect these. 180 rotation ends up making a shape that is upside down and backwards from the original. So that looks like it's upside down and backwards, right? Yep, cool. Alright, number 32, let's solve. Fence, distribute. 8y plus 32 equals, distribute. 3y minus 3 plus 10. Let's combine like terms on the right, and we get 3y plus 7. Let's move the smaller variable, this 3y. We get 5y plus 32 equals 7. Let's move the 32. Divide by 5, and we get y equals negative 5. Question 33 wants us to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So this shape needs to go this direction, so it's going to end up over here. So let's spin the paper so that this spot is in the top left, like the old shape was. So that's where we need to put the new shape. So N is 0, 3. M is negative 1, 2. Negative 1, 2. Q is negative 6, 1. P is negative 3, 4. P. Let's connect all these. So a 90-degree rotation, that shape that used to be wide is now going to be tall, right? Because when we spin it, it's now like standing on its side. We end up with that shape right there. Question 34, which choice is equivalent to the expression? Alright, so we need to divide 6 by 2 to get 3, so we can cross off those two. And then when you divide, you subtract the exponent. So 12 minus 3 is 9, so the answer is choice A. Question 35, plot the points and state whether it's linear. 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 9. That is definitely not linear, right? There's no way I can connect that with a line. So we're going to write non-linear. Question 36, complete the table below. So the rule for this table is make x negative, then subtract 4. And if any of these numbers are already negative, it's going to be positive. So this one, make it negative, so 8 minus 4 is 4. Negative 1, make it negative, so 1. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Make this 3 negative, so negative 3 minus 4 more is negative 7. And 5, make it negative, is negative 5. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. Question 37. How many solutions does this equation have? If we distribute, we're going to get 48m plus 72 equals 72 plus 48m. It's the same exact thing on both sides, and when you have that, your equation has an infinite number of solutions. Question 38 wants us to plot these points. Negative 1, 1 is R, 1, 2 is F, 1, negative 1 is E, and then negative 1, negative 2 is T. And then it wants us to dilate with a scale factor of 3. So all these points have numbers that need to be multiplied by 3. So this is going to be negative 3, 3. This is going to be 3, 6. This is going to be 3, negative 3. And this is going to be negative 3, negative 6. When we plot these, we should end up with a shape that is 3 times as big as the original. Let's connect these with a straight edge. Should probably connect the old ones too, shouldn't I? Don't forget, when you make your new shape, it needs to have primes. Usually that's what I forget, but I remembered. There we go. That shape is 3 times the size of the original. Question 39 wants us to translate QPR to the left 3 and down 1. Left 3, down 1, Q prime. 1, 2, 3, left 3, down 1, P prime. Left 3, down 1, R prime. There we go. Translation just moves it over, which is what we see right there. And question 40 wants us to add and write our answer in scientific notation. So let's change this to 10 to the 13 and this to 0.635. Let's add 7.6 and 0.635 and get 8.235 times 10 to the 13th.